Welcome to Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, a ridiculously awesome podcast bursting with insightful commentaries and intriguing conversations on the topics and issues that are on the minds of marketers, advertisers, social media, and PR professionals today.
Hey everybody, how are you? This is Bob Cargill from Bob Cargill's Marketing Show. Yes, Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, my podcast, and it's episode 189 of my podcast, Bob Cargill's Marketing Show. We are recording on Saturday, July 20, 2024, and you'll be listening to this podcast in the very near future from this moment that I am recording it from my home office here in Sudbury, Massachusetts. And I say you'll be listening to it, but you might be watching it too, because I am recording this on video in front of me and to the side, right here, yes, on my phone, so I can share it on YouTube and in different ways on social media. So I'm sharing it both on video and on audio, the audio version of the podcast, and that you can listen to. My host, my service provider is Podbean. I've been with them for quite a while now, but it gets distributed. This podcast does, Bob Cargill's Marketing Show does, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and I hope my podcast is one of your favorite podcasts, and that you do listen, and that you subscribe. So you can subscribe to my podcast, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel, by the way, under my name, youtube.com/Bob Cargill, has over 1,000 videos. Yes, who do you know who's recorded over 1,000 videos on their own? And a lot of them are marketing, a lot of them are social media related, and some of them, quite a few of them, are also motivational and inspirational. That's a side gig of mine on social media, if you will, and in person when I speak at events. Motivation and inspiration. So if you ever need a quick pick-me-up, you need your spirits lifted, check out my YouTube channel. Check out any of my social media. I try to get very motivational, inspirational, and to help you and others who do listen to me, who do watch me and pay attention to me. Thank you for paying attention to me. And welcome again to Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, episode 189. We're going to talk about what I've been up to lately a little bit, and then I'll talk about a few different topics, and then we'll wind things down. This could go anywhere from 15, 20 minutes to maybe even up to 30 minutes or longer. It depends on how long I go, what kind of a roll I get on, if you will. But let's start right from the top in terms of the notes I have in front of me, and that is updating you on what I have been up to. And I am saying this with very mixed feelings. That is a little bit relief, a lot sadness, and that is I am no longer president of AMA Boston. My term has wound down as of July 1, 2024, about 3 weeks away now. And yes, it's sad. I have mixed feelings. Sure, I have more free time. So, and I feel a big sense of accomplishment. So I feel good about all of that, but I feel sad that I'm not in the president's chair anymore at the board meetings and in the driver's seat, if you will, because I love being in the driver's seat. But I am so proud of Emily Cucuzzo, who I have passed the baton to in a relay race. And I'm a runner. We pass the baton to the next runner, and I have passed that baton to be president of AMA Boston to Emily Cucuzzo. And she is hitting the ground running, doing a ridiculously awesome job. Good for you, Emily. Applause. But let me tell you, AMA Boston, being president for two-year terms, 2 years before the pandemic and 2 years after, what an opportunity. Memories galore. Great memories galore, ridiculously awesome memories galore. I've met so many amazing people, AMA-zing people, hashtag amazing, and I couldn't thank them all enough in AMA, American Marketing Association, enough. I was president from, 18, 19, 19, 20, then 22, 23, 24. I hope I got those years right. 4 different fiscal years, 2 separate 2-year terms. In between, Meg McGrath did a great job and Pat Cooper did a great job, 1 year apiece as presidents during the pandemic for the most part. So I had the opportunity to usher us, if you will, the opportunity to usher us into the pandemic and then usher us out of the pandemic. Regardless, pandemic or not, it was such a great experience for me. And again, Meg and Pat, you did super great jobs during the pandemic, because that was especially tough. It ain't easy being president. It ain't easy being a leader. But the trade-off for all the work and commitment is the opportunities that come our way as being president of AMA Boston or any organization. The opportunities, the access to so many people, events. I could go on. It elevated me personally and professionally, being president for two-year terms. What did I say? 18, 19, 19, 20, and then 22, 23, 24 fiscal years, July 1 to July 1. I can't be grateful enough for those years being president of AMA Boston. And I am still on the board. I'm still on the leadership team as a past president. And I encourage you to get involved if you're in the Boston area, in the marketing industry or related fields. Get involved with AMA Boston. Such a great group chapter. AMA has a long history. Almost, 100 years or so, approximately ago was AMA founded, and I think 1934, something like that. So approaching 100 years, and it's got status. It's got thousands of members across the country, many chapters, something like 70 chapters, regional chapters, and something like, making these numbers up, but they're approximate and they're close. I know that, like 250, 300 collegiate chapters. So students to people like me, a baby boomer who's been in marketing over 40 years, you'll meet people early in their journeys, professional journeys, people later in their professional journeys, people smack dab in the middle of their professional journeys. But you'll learn, you'll network with people, and there's a multitude of benefits to being a member of AMA or just coming to some of our events, or certainly volunteering or getting on the board as one of our leaders. So amaboston.org, you'll see our blog there. You'll see we have a podcast. You'll see that there's a lot of educational resources in events, in person and virtually, that you can attend and learn from and meet people and contribute to our success. amaboston.org. That's AMA Boston. Here's something else you will see behind me. Here, right there, Bob Cargill's Marketing Roadshow. 5 years ago, speaking of the pandemic, I've already mentioned it, the pandemic. Before the pandemic, right before the pandemic, we, and I say we, Helen Pinchansky, Claudia, Helen, and Samantha, and me. So Claudia, Samantha, Helen, and Bob, we put together Bob Cargill's Marketing Roadshow. And it's Claudia Chica Diaz and Samantha Vengers and Helen Pinchansky and myself. And we put together this event, and we had about 100 people attend. It was a educational, networking, half-day event at Out of Office co-working space in Hudson, Massachusetts. And the intent was to have a series of these events. That's why we called it the Road Show, Marketing Roadshow. But then, pandemic. And so we stopped. We stopped at one. We quit while we were ahead, if you will, because it was a real successful event. But we're going to do it again. I have recently gotten together, reached out to all three, Samantha, Helen, and Claudia, and myself and Helen have met recently. We're going to start it up again. Have at least one more is the goal this fall, this late fall, early winter. If you want to get involved, hit me up. Please don't hesitate. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have food, beverage, entertainment, and I can't wait. So I'm telling you this because it's something I'm proud of, and that's happening. Put it on your calendar. Don't have a date yet, but if you want to get involved as a speaker or as a sponsor, however you might want to get involved, please hit me up. It's something that's big and on my plate that I'm going to be working towards. As of a few weeks ago, we started planning. So that's something that's been going on in my world. And the other thing is teaching a little bit, guest lecturing, I should say, a few days at Tufts University. I'm very grateful to have been presented with that opportunity for the second summer in a row. And there's a pre-college course over there with regard to marketing essentials. And they have two-week programs, sessions. And I've been invited to guest lecture at both of them, the sessions, for 2 days each. And I just recently, earlier this week, spoke at Tufts on the campus there. And it was for 2 days, a day and a half, almost 2 full days. And about social media, of course, and digital marketing. And I enjoyed it so much. And these are really, really wicked smart, ridiculously awesome high school students, rising juniors and seniors. And they come from all over the world to Tufts to learn marketing essentials. And when I speak, to learn more about social media and digital marketing. And I really enjoyed the opportunity. The students asked such great questions and did such great work. You know, I had them do a project in the afternoon on one of the days. That is what they learned about content creation and social media, put together in groups, and there are about 50 of them, so a lot of groups, let's say approximately 10 groups, put together a piece of content. Could be video, could be an infographic, could be a blog post. A lot of them did videos on what you've learned, and the results were off the charts. You know, I had no expectation. I just wanted them to do it for the experience. They set a very high bar for themselves because they are so wicked smart, and did work that absolutely could see the light of day, meaning worthy of putting up on social media. I don't know if any of them are going to do that, did do that, but with regard to what they learned. And that's thought leadership. And I tell students, I tell clients, I tell anybody within the earshot, personal branding, thought leadership content is how you separate yourself from the competition. So it's so important for these high school students to get a jump start on their professional journey, on their educational journey, their higher educational journey, by learning about personal branding and starting up LinkedIn accounts and starting to create content themselves and put it out there and show all that they can bring to the table if hired. I should say when hired, because each and every one of these students are rock stars and will be hired and will help change the world, or at the very least change the companies for the better where they get hired. I was so impressed, so proud of them. So yes, all of you who attended, if you are listening, watching, congratulations on the work you did, and thank you for the experience, the opportunity it was an honor, and I was very happy to speak as guest lecturer there at the Marketing Essentials pre-college program at Tufts University. And I got one more stint doing that in a couple weeks, for a couple days. I'm looking forward to that. You know, the 40 plus years I have in marketing, I am delighted and grateful, thankful that I can put it to use as a teacher, as an adjunct professor. It feels good. It feels rewarding, fulfilling to be able to say, look back, like I do in my book, 20 Jobs, 20 Lessons, A Long, Strange Career in Marketing, from junk mail to social media. Those 40 years, 20 jobs, from junk mail to social media, I can use, leverage, glean the learnings, some the hard way, that I have carried forward and share with my students. And it couldn't be more satisfying. You know, I say to people, I thought I was happy in the corporate world, which I left in the spring of 2017. So more than 7 years ago, I said, I'm going to be a consultant now, freelancer, speaker. Didn't know I was going to be the professor, teacher I've become. Opportunities came my way. Thank you, Mass College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Thank you, Suffolk University. Thank you, Northeastern University. I didn't know that this would be a second career for me. I didn't know that I would have a second career. I mean, I thought I'd continue contracting and freelancing as the social media person I had been at agencies over the years, the copywriter, the creative director I had been over the years at agencies and at a few big companies early on in my career and at Vistaprint later on in my career. But teaching dropped into my lap, and I thank people like Charlie and Palin and Christina, 3 people, first names only, but who invited me to or helped me get gigs at these different universities where I'm now teaching almost the equivalent of full time. I am asked to teach so many courses that, yes, it does add up to almost the equivalent of full time. I couldn't be more grateful for that. And yeah, this fall I'll be teaching again, back at Suffolk University, teaching principles of marketing and the foundations of business, and also Mass College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences on Longwood Avenue, a amazing school. Both schools in let's add Northeastern, all 3 schools are amazing and prestigious, and yeah, I'm grateful. I mean, that's something I've been saying more and more at this stage in my career, this stage in my life, that I can look back. I've finally had a little bit of time to look back and say, yeah, some of the things I did over the years, I did, not too bad at. And the things I did do bad at, if you will, I'm able to learn from. And so I'm packaging it up in my book and in my presentations and in my marketing roadshow, packaging it up into a series of lessons, series of inspirational talks, stories, etc., that I hope can help the next generation of marketers. And that's my students and then some, those who will come to my presentations. I like to speak at conferences, schools, universities, wherever they will have me, wherever you will have me. So if you ask, I'm always delighted, always happy. You ask, I'll be there to speak about marketing, social media, to be inspirational and motivational, because I love going in that direction in all of my talks. I spoke recently, for instance, at the Digital Marcon conference in Boston. Love how they put together a conference. I spoke about personal branding on a big stage, big room, quite a lot of people in the audience, and their technology, their how they run their conference from beginning to end is so top-notch, so professional. And there's nothing I like more than having that chance to be in front of a group and tell them what I know, hoping to help them level up their careers. A lot of them, most of them nowadays, are younger than me in the audience. And I can say, you are a rock star. And those of you who know me say, I say that. I say that an awful lot, but it's because I want people to know that they are, each and every one of them, each and every one of you is a rock star. They are rock stars, whoever's in my audience. You are a rock star. Each and every one of you is a rock star, because knowing that you are a rock star fills you with self-confidence, self-esteem. And think about what it must be to live the life of a rock star, to have applause, and standing ovations and cheering. People adore you, respect you, and look up to you, and in most cases will purchase and consume, listen to, watch anything you have to offer, because you are a rock star. That must feel so good. And we all should know what it feels like to feel like a rock star, because again, when we have that self-esteem, that confidence, we perform better in both our personal and professional lives. So I want people who I come in contact with to have that feeling, and that feeling will translate into greater success in both your personal and professional lives. And I tie it back to social media. Personal branding, to get out there as a personal brand on social media. Put yourself behind a microphone, in front of a camera, share your conversations, your monologues like I'm doing right now, share videos, share pictures, share your knowledge and expertise, your opinions, your point of view, your POV. To do that on a regular basis takes confidence. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that people do care about you. People do want to see you. People do want to hear from you on a regular basis. You are a thought leader. You are someone people look forward to seeing, hearing from, day in and day out. And the more you know that, the more you're likely to do that, to put yourself out there on a regular basis. And therefore, people get the chances, the opportunities to know you. And the more they know you, the more likely they will be to like you and to respect you. And if we're talking social media for business, and we are talking social media for business when we talk about personal branding, we have the opportunity, when we have strong personal brands on social media, we have the opportunity for people to buy from us, to support us from a business standpoint, because they know us. And knowing us leads to trust, and trust leads to sales. The more likely people will be to buy from you versus the competition if they see you and hear from you a lot more than they see the competition and hear from the competition on social media. So put yourselves out there. It's a win-win-win. It's a win for you. It's a win for your audience. It's a win for all the social media channels. They get all this increase in activity. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's a level playing field. I say that to students all the time on social media. You don't have to be a CEO or a president. You don't have to be this or that to have a big following, to be someone on social media that people want to tune into, subscribe to, follow, to be your fan, to be your friend. You just have to do it on a regular basis and be transparent. Be who you are. Keep it real. Be authentic. Be genuine. Be sincere. Be supportive. Be supportive. Be helpful. Be informational. Be educational. If you can entertain, that's even better on top of everything else, because entertainment retains people's attention and increases the chances of loyalty. And getting people's attention in this day and age is more difficult than ever. Sometimes it does take entertainment. Sometimes it does take letting your hair down, if you will, and lightening up. Okay, business people, lightening up. Yes, occasionally joking, smiling, allowing people to get to know you. That leads to relationships. That leads to business. Storytelling. Noah Kahan. Emotions. Transparency. Noah Kahan. He has his third album out now, and it has been out for a while. He's a very, very popular, successful folk pop singer who just played Fenway Park in Boston 2 nights. This is Saturday. He played Thursday and Friday nights. And sold out, approximately 38,000 people there both nights. I was not one of them, but I was close. I was there last night outside of Fenway Park with my wife on Lansdowne Street. We went out for a bite to eat and a cold beverage, and then listened to Noah play his first few songs from outside Fenway Park, with hundreds, if not thousands, of others doing the same thing. 38,000 or so inside. We were all outside. Noah Kahan is talented. Noah Kahan is a musical genius, let's say. But most of all, he's a ridiculously awesome human being, and that comes through in his music, and I think that's why he's so popular. That his rise to success in the last year or two, even though he's been around for a bunch of years, has been meteoric, to put it mildly, in the last year or two. He's gone from playing small clubs to big stadiums like Fenway Park and Madison Square Garden, where he played earlier this past week. And he works hard, okay? He works very, very hard. He's very, very talented. But I think what he's got going for him most, that any one of us could learn from, and that is he's a quality human being and is so friendly and supportive of his fans. And he tells a lot of stories about his upbringing. He tells a lot of stories in his lyrics, in his songs, about his upbringing and about his feelings. And this is where I'm going with this, tying it back to marketing, social media. He's very visible on social media. He shares a lot on social media. That has helped him become very successful as a professional musician. And I think any one of us can learn from that. Just be yourself. The more we are just ourselves on social media, the more we keep it real, like Noah Kahan on the stage, in his music, in his lyrics, how he is so much himself, sharing vulnerabilities, putting himself out there. The more we can put ourselves out there with all of our vulnerabilities and be okay with admitting weakness and be really good at acknowledging other people's weaknesses and frailties and vulnerabilities and idiosyncrasies. The more we can connect with our audience, whether we're Noah Kahan, a folk pop superstar, or just me, you, whoever we are, whatever we do, the more we put ourselves out there as quality, genuine, sincere, caring, supportive human beings, the more likely the chances, opportunities for success in both our personal and professional life. So that's why I am encouraging social media use as a personal brand, because you can't reach all that many people in person on a daily basis, unless you are Noah Kahan, who performs in front of 38,000 screaming, enthusiastic, supportive, adoring fans like he did last night at Fenway Park in Boston. You can't possibly have that opportunity on a regular basis. So you have to put yourself on social media so it will amplify what you have to say, what you have to share. Put yourselves on social media. Share who you are as human beings. And for business reasons, share who you are as human beings. And it will, ironically, work, because people want to get to know you as a human being, not necessarily as a business person. We all know who typically we're doing business with. We generally know each of us are equally capable. Each of us, for the most part, have reasonably high quality goods and services, products and services to offer. How do we separate ourselves? We separate ourselves by who we are as individuals. So put a face on your brand and a smile on your face. The more friendly, the more approachable, the more empathy you show, the more understanding you are, the more of a community you build that's long-lasting, mutually beneficial, mutually supportive. You help them, and they'll help you. You give to them, and they'll give to you. You reveal your vulnerabilities, and they'll open themselves up to you too. And then you connect. And when you connect, that leads to relationships that are long-lasting and mutually beneficial in both personal and professional ways. And so we talk about social media because that's the purpose of my marketing show right here, right now. We talk about social media for business, which is marketing. We talk about success as business people, because social media leads to those relationships, which leads to trust, which leads to sales. How you inspired that riff, Noah Kahan, I don't know. But Noah Kahan, I wish I could have seen you in person, but I did second best. I saw you outside. I heard you from outside of Fenway Park last night. And the night before, I listened to you on, it was called, I'm looking for the name of it, I wrote it down, TourGigs.com. Noah Kahan's concerts, the two at Fenway Park, were streamed live via TourGigs.com. $16.99 I paid to listen to Thursday night's show from beginning to end. And I'm telling you, it was amazing. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was there in person, listening to the concert in person. I was one of the 38,000 at Fenway Park. I felt like it. Listening virtually, watching virtually, live streaming it from my home right here, my 3 monitors. And it was an experience. And that experience, by the way, I think is the future. It's the present and rapidly becoming will become even more bigger part of our future. And that is listening to, watching concerts, live streaming from, our phones or laptops, computers, on our own devices. if the show's sold out or we can't be there for a certain reason or it's too expensive for us to get a ticket, why not tune in via live streaming? And I think there's so much potential in that industry. And TourGigs.com, what a great job they did. I was so impressed. I mean, hey, all props to Noah Kahan for being the amazing folk pop musician he is. All props also go to TourGigs.com for capturing that concert as though I was there in person along with the 38,000 other fans at Fenway Park. I felt like I was right there with them. TourGigs.com, amazing live stream of Noah Kahan's amazing 2 to 3 hour show, 2.5 hours approximately. I don't know how long it was, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but he was so brilliant. He is so entertaining. You can't love Noah Kahan more if you're a fan of Noah Kahan, and who isn't. And TourGigs brought me into Fenway Park. That's how I felt, that I was right there with all of the other fans. Great job, TourGigs.com. Hey, let's keep going. Presidential candidates. We are going through presidential campaign elections this year in 2024 in the fall. And you know who we have running for president on the Democratic and Republican side. And I have an opinion. I won't share it with you right now who I'm voting for. But I don't know if he is going to, when it gets down to it, be the candidate on the Democratic side. So I guess I just gave away who I am voting for. I don't want to get too much into politics, but Joe Biden, I love him, but I don't know if he's going to be the nominee because of his age, sadly, cognitive decline, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so I'm naming names. Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Think of how they use social media, and think of how important social media is, whether it's Joe Biden and Donald Trump or two other candidates to be named later, if you will, to any two candidates, however many candidates for any office, period, President of the United States or just town council in the town in which you live. Social media can make a difference between success and failure. Social media helps you communicate with your audience, your constituents, your fan base, and it pays to have that network of people who support you and who feel like they know you and can trust you. They know they can trust you. Feel like they know you, know that they can trust you. That's going to earn you votes. That's going to earn you sales. That's going to earn you friends. And again, long-lasting, mutually beneficial relationships. That's social media. That's the social in social media. You know what else is the social in social media? And I'm winding down now, just a few more minutes. Group selfies. I like to take a lot of selfies, and people know that. And wherever I go, public events, I pull out my selfie stick, extend it high, and take group selfies. And I can have 3, 4, 5 people in that group selfie, or 30, 40, 50 people in that group selfie. And everyone's smiling, everybody's happy. I share it on social media, brings people together in person, taking the picture, and then memorializes the moment such that we all can go back, relive the memory of being there at that event together. Look who we're friends with. Look who we met. Look at our colleagues. Look at people we met from out of town, out of state, and stay in touch that way and remember the event that way. It's a Kodak moment, if you will. That was what Kodak used to use in their ads. Taking a picture, Kodak moment, capturing the memory. My group selfies are my version of Kodak moments, and I encourage you to do that as well. People love selfies when they're in them. Everybody smiles for the camera, and it captures the moment, immortalizes the moment, memorializes the moment. And I encourage you, for business reasons is where I'm going. Yeah, we do it for personal reasons, but think about doing it more for business reasons too, because it is that lightening up, that letting your hair down, that just showing who you are as a real human being. And that makes a difference in real professional relationships, showing that you are a real human being. And we do that sometimes by posing for the camera together in a group selfie. Yeah. So 1 or 2 more things, and then we're done. I want to point out that I saw a statistic that something like half of all content in 2026 will be created by AI, artificial intelligence. And what I would say to that, two things. Learn AI, know how to use it. It should be part of your skill set. It should be one of the skills in your toolbox, if you will, your toolbox of skills. But the fact that over half of content created by small businesses by 2026 will be created with AI means the more human without AI you can be, you will stand out that way. So yes, both. Use AI, know how to learn how to use AI for business reasons. But equally important is learning how to just be yourself on social media as a human being and showing that human being side of your business, showing the people behind the scenes, showing you as if you're a member of the senior leadership team on social media with vulnerabilities, with idiosyncrasies, being human just like everybody else. It's a level playing field on social media. We all have an equal chance for success. We all share so many of the same qualities and experiences. Don't be afraid to share your qualities as a human being and experiences as a human being, personal and professional, on social media. It will help you connect better, more with others. And again, those connections lead to relationships, personally and professionally. Finally, an ad I read about, and I'm not going to go into great detail on it, except that it's a new ad for the Paris Olympics, Summer Olympics, not too long from now, a few weeks away. And Nike came out with this great ad, something like winning isn't for everyone. And it was about, I think it's William Dafoe is the narrator, and it shows a lot of the famous athletes like Serena Williams and LeBron James, and I forget, lots and lots of others. It shows them in action and shows the intensity and competitive nature of superstar athletes, in this case Olympic athletes, and their drive to win. And I think it's another riveting, emotional ad that story tells, that is dramatic, that is an ad without being an ad, if you know what I mean. And if you're going to advertise, that's how you advertise. And it's storytelling, and it's visual, and it's emotional. Do not forget all of that. B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer. Social media, email, radio, TV, print, however you are marketing, individual, corporate, however you are marketing. The more personal in most cases, the more emotional in most cases, the more transparent in most cases, the better. Because generally speaking, there's a surplus in overwhelming majority of the products and services we have to sell as marketers, have to buy as consumers, are equally good, are equally of high quality. How do you separate from yourself from the competition on social media, in marketing, in advertising, in PR, wherever, however you are putting yourselves out there? The more personable, the more personal, the more genuine, the more realistic, the more credible, the more transparent, the more honest, the more trustworthy. The more trust, the more sales. The more trust, the more relationships. The more trust, the more success. That's a good way to end. Hey, this has been Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, episode 189, recorded on July 20, 2024, from my home office in Sudbury, Massachusetts. I'm going to end by, one more time, I like to say this an awful lot of times, I'll end this way. You need confidence. You need self-esteem. You need to feel good about yourselves in order to succeed. I'm talking to you one-on-one now. I say yourselves because I certainly hope that there's a lot of you watching, a lot of you listening, but I'm going to talk to each and every one of you individually. You need to feel good about yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to know that you are a rock star. Rock stars feel really good about themselves because they get up on stage and everyone's cheering. Everybody's clapping, hooting, and hollering. They're fans. And rock stars can do no wrong. Rock stars sing, rock stars shout, rock stars dance, whatever rock stars do. People love it. Their audience members love it. Know that you are a rock star. You need that confidence, that self-esteem, that belief in yourself to succeed, and especially to succeed on social media. Because on social media, you're putting yourself out there. A lot of us are, I should say a lot of you are putting yourself, because I'm used to doing this, putting yourself out there for the first time, or you're at the beginning of your journey putting yourself out there behind the microphone, in front of the camera. And that ain't easy. So that's why if you believe and know, not just believe, know, the fact is, you are a rock star, you will feel better about yourself. And the better you feel about yourself, the more it will show that confidence you have in yourself and all that knowledge and expertise, the fact that you can be entertaining and informational and educational and that you have something to offer that people are interested in. The more you can feel that you are a rock star, the more you know that you are a rock star, the more successful you will be in both your personal and professional life. So I'm going to end episode 189 of Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, my podcast, by telling you, yes, once again, that you are a rock star.